Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight, we have George Lynch, a guitarist from the 1980s, lead guitarist for Dokken, and then Lynch Mob afterwards as well. I did a video on Lynch Mob quite recently, but this video is really interesting. It's from 1982, and it's kind of titled as being rare because it's a guitar solo by George quite early on in his career. So I just want to have a little look at this and maybe analyze it a little bit, because as I said, I find this really interesting. But let's get the video up and start watching and see what he gets up to. Okay, so far we're kind of almost 45 seconds in, and at the time I think Van Halen was probably a big influence on George, especially kind of when he's playing here. He's doing loads of dive bombs and kind of using his Floyd Rose to the max. So yeah, certainly lots of kind of Floyd Rose dive bombs, but nothing particularly musical yet. And just a quick point here, it looks like he's not even got a Floyd Rose. So yeah, this is kind of risky, because he's now doing all these dive bombs, what look like either floating bridge or fixed bridge. So it's gonna probably make the guitar strings go quite out of tune when he comes back to playing. And that's then the end of the video. So why I find this so interesting is because there's lots of kind of noise in there, and there's quite a lot of technique. And what I like about it is that you can see that George, this is kind of really early in his career, he's trying to find his sound with the techniques that he's kind of using. And what you'll find if you watch any George Lynch kind of after this is that he then started to get his own sound, and it's actually really good to see him experimenting with different sounds just in a live solo. And since then, if you watch any other kind of live solo that he's done, it's like amazingly technically good and musical, and he does tend to go a little bit off-piste with his playing in terms of, you know, staying in scales and shapes and all that kind of stuff. But I've already said that, you know, I really like George Lynch's playing. He's got his own sound, which is kind of the hardest thing for any guitarist to attain, but it's really interesting interesting to watch once you know where he gets to from having experimented like this live. He then starts to craft his own sound. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys at the next one.